Jason Fabini didn't play a position that we in the media would pay a lot of attention to because we look at the skill guys. But those skill guys don't do anything without the up-front guys opening holes and making things happen, and Jason Fabini is pretty good at that and has been for a long time. First at Dwenger, then as a 4-year starter at Cincinnati, University of a Bearcat, where there weren't too many games when he was there that he didn't start. And that was followed by 11 years in the NFL with the Jets, Cowboys, and Redskins. Again, there weren't too many games that he didn't start. He had a great career. It came to an end like they all do because we just aren't built to be indestructible, and it catches up to everybody. And when it did, he returned home, got into business, successful there, and started to give back at his alma mater, Dwenger, as the offensive line coach. And he's put together some good ones. And he and I were together in the Tippmann house on draft night when one of his proteges went to his team, his first team, the Jets, in the second round. He's proud of that, and he's proud of a career that is very worth being proud of. And another guy who would be proud of him was his high school coach, Andy Johns, and he will introduce Jason Fabini.
I'm sort of like Dean Pantazzi. I just never go away. Jason Fabini, where to start? First of all, kudos to the IFCA committee and so forth for putting this on. This is a tremendous lot of time and effort to put one of these things on like tonight, and they should be congratulated. What a stellar job to bring this back. Kudos also and congratulations to the fellow inductees, the 5 players. I've coached against most of them. I think Jason Baker was a little bit young for me then. Yeah, I was already an AD back then. But what a group of players. Vaughn, there must still be a lot of people waking up at nights watching you running at them, and their job was to try to tackle you. He was a load. I give him all the credit in the world. And Dean and Dale, career sort of almost were on top of each other. We coached at the same time, very competitive. We were also athletic directors at the same time, got along extremely well, and I count both Dean and Dale as friends today. And now, moving on, the Jason Fabini went to St. Charles, as my wife taught there, so I had seen Jason grow up even in grade school, and he was tall, gangly, bespectacled, and he showed up at Bishop Dwenger as a freshman, and it's sort of nice to have somebody show up and has the word lineman stamped on their forehead. You don't have to put them in the right line with the other 74 defensive backs and 27 wide receivers. He was a lineman. Question was where to find the best spot for him. We worked around a little bit as he grew older, of course, and put him at center, first of all. I always, in my coaching career, tried to put my best offensive lineman at center. Steve Villacable lapping that one up in the back. But we needed him more at tackle. We could play him both ways at tackle, defense and offense. And it just seemed to work a little bit better at that point. And when he came to Dwenger, he was probably 200 pounds. And when he left Dwenger, he was like 241. And he was recruited by the University of Cincinnati, one of his bigger recruitment deals. And he took that. I didn't know much about it. They hadn't recruited Dwenger a lot in the previous years that I was there. We get the courtesy cards and so forth, but would never have an actual coach show up at the school. So it sort of caught me off guard a little bit about the University of Cincinnati. I called my brother, who lived down there for 20 or 30 years, and asked him a little bit about it, and he just was excited about the school. He said, it's very good. So Jason committed there, and as Dean said, played a lot of football there. And I didn't go down the first year. I wasn't sure if he was going to start or not. And he came home after his freshman year, and he left at about 241, and he came home close to 300. I said, what'd you do for a year? Did you just eat? Did they do anything else to you? He gained like 60 pounds. And I knew then that we had something that was special. I should draw back one thing. We did, Coach Tone did move Jason to defensive end his senior year in high school. And figuring his long arms and so forth could disrupt plays. And with that, he is probably a major part of one of the top 3 plays in Dwenger football history. In the state championship game, he had a strip sack of the Cathedral runner, and the strip part of it, the ball fell, and our linebacker, Danny Murray, picked it up and scored a touchdown with about a minute and a half to go to put us ahead. So probably one of the top 3 or 4 plays at Dwenger football. And don't ask me what the other ones are, because I'm not going to tell you. I went down to UC his sophomore year, watched a game. A couple of coaches went down, and weren't many people in the stadium. I think Coach Minter was there at that time, was just starting to turn it around. Coach Minter, for the other, I know Mike Hawley and a few of the other older guys, when he was at Ball State as an assistant, he would recruit the Fort Wayne area, and he'd come and he'd sit there in front of you like 20, 30 minutes and wouldn't say anything. I mean, you had to keep the conversation going. And he became a head coach down there and did a splendid job. I was doing some homework. He's still the all-time winningest coach in UC history. Lucky Coach Fickle left for Wisconsin, or he would have been passed this year with a much higher percentage, I might add, Jason. By the time Jason finished at UC, they went to a bowl game. And I've watched their program since then, but I think that was a turning point. Jason's senior year, the bowl game, he went north instead of south. The bowl game was in Boise, Idaho. The Potato Bowl on the blue football field, but it was a start. And from there, Jason was selected to play in the North-South Senior Bowl game down in middle of January in Mobile, Alabama. And I was fortunate enough to be able to go down and watch that game in lovely Mobile. One story, we were sitting in the hotel lobby the night before the game, Jason's family and a couple of the other coaches that went, and this smell permeated the lobby. I mean, almost knocked you off your chairs. The doors were open, and I asked one of the workers at the hotel, what is that? And the answer was, that be Mobile. Evidently, the Mobile Bay every night, something washes ashore. So it's not on my list of places to revisit. But anyways, about that North-South game, Jason dominated the game at left tackle. Just dominated his opponent every play from the beginning whistle to the end. And from that point, I think his career took off. I was contacted by three NFL teams, which has never happened to me before, and wanted to know a little background from when he was in high school, type of person mostly, and I tried to push left tackle onto them. Jason, I knew it was a money position for you, and so you owe me a little bit on that one. Let's see, what else did I have on Jason here? Anyways, his NFL career, as Dean said, encompassed mostly the New York Jets. His first 7 or 8 years started for them. Their program turned around. Playoff contention, playoff eligible several years. Those are Vinny Testaverde and Jason's old offensive line mate, Jumbo Elliott. I won't tell any Jumbo Elliott stories, Jason. By the way, I was Jason's third choice to be a presenter today. Herm Edwards and Bill Parcells couldn't make it, so Jason ended up with me. But that's all right. That's all right. After his career with the Jets, he suddenly was called by his old buddy Bill Parcells down to Dallas for, I think, a year, maybe 2, and then on to Washington, where he finished his NFL career. Post-football career, Jason moved back to Fort Wayne to raise a family, be close to his parents. He's very family-oriented. He very close to his friends from high school at Bishop Dwenger, and has given back a lot to the community over the years through camps. He was a co-sponsor, I think, if I remember correctly, with the Woodson camp a few years. He ran an live auction for CYO football for several years. Donor to Saints Alive at Bishop Dwenger. His kids went to Dwenger, just graduated, played football, were very good also. And it was good to have him back. I think the greatest contribution of all, of course, he's been on the football staff at Dwenger as a head offensive line coach for many, many years. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Jason Fabini.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach. I did call Coach on, I think Wednesday, and I said, hey, Coach, my speech is going to be really short. So can you please be short? And I'm going to tell you, he was a lot longer than I thought he was, but thanks, Coach. And Coach was inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Indiana, I think, in 2003. And he's done a wonderful job at Dwenger. I think how many years did you coach?
I was head coach 22.
22 years. Great record, great man, and taught me a lot. I just want to thank the IFCA Region 3 for this honor, and also congratulate my fellow inductees. Football has offered me a lot of great opportunities and shown me how hard work and commitment can make a young boy's dreams come true. I've been blessed to have been coached by some great coaches, starting in PAL, through grade school, high school, college, and the NFL. These men have taught me the game of football, which included many of life's lessons, how to be respectful, competitive, tenacious, humble, and for that I'm thankful for. My journey, which has taken me from playing at the University of Cincinnati all the way through to the Jets, Cowboys, and Redskins. There have been many ups and downs, joys and tears, and bonds that will last a lifetime. Now as a coach, I have the opportunity, as many of you in this room, to positively impact young men's lives, which goes beyond the field. I'd like to thank all the coaches in this room for the countless hours and time away from their families. It's one of my greatest joys right now. Lastly, I'd like to thank Coach Johns for presenting me, all my former coaches, teammates, friends, Bishop Dwenger High School, Especially, I'd like to thank my family, my parents who are here tonight, Madeline and Tom, who've been my biggest supporters. Like Jason Baker said earlier, they've been to, the games, the bus stops, the cold benches, the airplanes, the car rides, the car rentals. Thank you. Also like to thank I have 4 wonderful boys. I got 3 here tonight. Hunter, John, and Jordan, thanks a lot for all your support. Well, I've got 25 to 15. And my lovely fiance, Cammie, who's been supporting me for 12 years. She's been great. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in the room. God bless. Go Bishop Gwanger. Thanks.
I want to thank Andy for bringing up that play in that state championship game, because I often wondered, first of all, I personally called it Dwanger's immaculate reception, but I often wondered who caused the fumble. Now I know. What, if you never remember, Google it sometime. It's quite a play. We sat there, the media guys that were there, and we went, what? But it happened, and it was a beautiful play.